Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
And I'm Joanne Toronto. Thanks for joining us today. We have a great guest with us, Mr. Ben Bowen. Welcome, Ben.
Hey guys.
Hey, Ben.
Ben is with Premier Sothebys out of the Charlotte area of North Carolina. And Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the business, just briefly, and then we can get into some questions that we want to ask you.
Yeah. So I worked for a builder and developer from 1994 to 2010. I've been in general brokerage since 2010. I opened my own firm. I did that for 11 years. And a year ago today, I merged with Premier Sotheby's.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So Ben, in your market area of Charlotte, North Carolina, what are, where do people come from? So what are the feeder markets that people move from certain areas into the Charlotte area? What's that profile look like?
Yeah. So and COVID has helped us with jobs going remote. We're seeing people from the Midwest escape there to get out of the weather and climate. We're seeing people from the Northeast. It's more affordable here and lower taxes. We're seeing some from South Florida that moved there from primarily the Northeast and said, hey, it's too hot, want to change the seasons, climate, whatever, We see those are the halfbacks. They come halfway back home and they can get back to New York in a one-day drive now from here.
Right.
The other big influx is California. We're seeing a
Really?
lot in California, and obviously our cost of living is a lot lower for them.
It
So
sure is.
that's kind of our four primary areas.
That's great. And is your market, are there a lot of condos, single families, new construction? What are the opportunities that you see in your market?
Yeah, so we don't have as many condos. We do a lot of single family. That's the majority of my business. New construction is a lot of growth here out in the suburbs for new construction.
Yep.
So still tons of growth opportunities there. We do see some townhomes and condos. It's just not the majority of our marketplace here.
Yeah. Okay. And since you've joined the Sothebys network, what are your impressions and what have you benefited from as it pertains to the network, right? So we have our global networking event coming up in April. Tell us a little bit about going from your own brokerage to a big name brokerage. What are some of the advantages that you've seen?
Sure. So there are so many tools and resources for following up with clients, seller pulse reports showing sellers what activity they're having. The marketing it's the best in the industry. My degree's in marketing. I love marketing, but this is just the best there is. The network, I went to an event at the Breakers Hotel for the top 100 Premier Sotheby's agents last year. Got to network with a lot of top agents there. We vacationed in 30A on Florida on the Gulf Coast near Destin. So I contacted the guy there that owns Scenic Sotheby's, Wes Madden. He invited me to their sales meeting. And I was able to connect with about 50 of their agents. I've connected with people like Jody Lovell in the Highlands, and it's great. I called Jody up. She's the #1 realtor in North Carolina. And said, hey, Jody, I'm going to be in town next weekend. Are you around? I'd love to meet you for a cup of coffee. She goes, yeah, I'll be here. And so my wife said, you just called this lady you don't know. So can I come meet you and have coffee? I said, yeah. She's like, I don't get it. But, but I met with her for an hour and a half, and Jody did like $165 million last year. Took an hour and a half on Saturday morning to sit down, have coffee with me, and get to know each other. And just, it's the people, it's the connections that I've made. And I went to T&E, the Texas Networking event, met some great people there from around the country, and looking forward to going to G&E in April and doing that. I was asked to go to speak at Atlanta Fine Home Sotheby's this fall. That was neat. Sean Tate from Nashville was there, Sierra Tellis from Dallas, and Maria Vitale was our keynote speaker from Live Sotheby's in Denver.
Amazing.
But that was neat. We met with 300 agents there and got to connect with some people, and just the connections have been great.
What did you speak about?
Well, it was a panel, and Maria gave the keynote, and Sean, Sierra, and I were on the panel, and it was just about the best practices and success and how we've grown our business and what we've done to do what we're doing, and share tips and guidelines for everybody.
Consistency, right? Being consistent.
Consistency, showing up every day.
Showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I mean, because we have both agents and consumers watching our coffee talk.
Okay.
And so we like to share tips for both consumers and the
Yeah.
agents. And probably the most important thing for agents to hear is just consistency, right?
Yeah, it
Showing
is.
up every day, treating people well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go
and
ahead,
so
Jen.
Ben, in your area, there's a big, beautiful lake, and I
Yes.
understand that you hold some record there for expensive homes sold on the lake. Can you tell us a little bit about Lake Norman and the lifestyle there?
Yeah. So Lake Norman's 520 miles of shoreline. It
Wow.
was man-made in the 1960s by Duke Energy, our power company.
Oh,
Real estate
man-made.
has gotten very expensive here on the lake.
Yeah.
We sold the home for $5.4 million last year on the lake to a buyer from Fort Lauderdale from Florida. But there's a lot of 3 million to the most expensive home for sale here is $16 million on the lake right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Nothing has sold over 10 here on the lake yet, but we're starting to see some crazy big numbers here on the lake. But it's a great lifestyle for boating, recreational, fishing, skiing, just, whatever. But it's a great family lake. And I live on the southern end of the lake. And so we are 20 minutes from uptown Charlotte. So you can still go to the Panthers games or dinner or play or theater or shopping. You still do all that stuff, but you're in a little small town here.
Yeah.
Now, with the lake being that large, is it spring fed now? Do they dig down enough to get spring fed, or does it just have a lot of estuaries
There's just a
coming in?
river, Tom.
Just a river.
The Catawba River flows down and feeds a chain of 14 different lakes through the Carolinas.
Oh, that's amazing. What a
Yeah,
great.
there's a dozen restaurants you can access by boat there, and but so anyway, that's a neat lifestyle, and it's a big draw for people here.
Yeah, I think that's a great draw because you get the nicer weather, the longer summers, and lake living is, people
Yeah.
love it.
And
So,
March through October is pretty good boating season here.
oh wow, great.
Now we've talked about expensive sales. Are there opportunities in a different price bracket to get on the lake as well, or is it mostly on the luxury side?
So you can get a home off the water, Tom, with a boat slip. That's a few doors down from your property. So maybe that's around 500,000 minimum starting out. There are a few condos and townhomes on the lake, so that's certainly another option to get on there. But if you want to go waterfront, a lot of our homes are 6 to 8,000 square feet, 5 to 7,000 feet, and it's 3 million plus for a lot of them.
Okay. That's
So,
good. I mean, it's just good. I like people to know, particularly if there's someone in Boston or Connecticut watching this video and they're like just intrigued by lake living,
yeah.
knowing that there's an option. If they can't be lakefront, getting a slip for $500,000 is a great value.
Absolutely, absolutely. They can live a few doors down, walk to their boat, and go out and use it, and not pay the expensive prices to be on the water.
That's awesome. That's a really great draw.
So Ben, what are your for our audience to know, what's your target client, and what can you name off a few towns that are your best areas for coverage that you feel most comfortable in?
So last year I had more listings sell over $1 million than any of our 12,000 agents except for one agent in our marketplace. So that's the higher end seller is a huge part of what I do, but I do everything. I've got clients with their nephew and niece buying a first home, and so we do everything. We just sold a townhome in a day for, that was great. And I love those because I don't get that on expensive sales. They don't happen that quick,
Right.
So areas north of Charlotte, you've got the Lake Norman area, which is kind of a region and not a town. That's one area made up of Davidson, Morrisville, Cornelius. Those are towns here. South Charlotte's really popular too. You've got neighborhoods like South Park and Myers Park, Ballantyne. Union County is a county just out from Charlotte's main county with really good schools and low taxes. That's a big draw there. And uptown Charlotte is 10 miles from the state line to South Carolina. So we sell into South Carolina as well. Fort Bend, South Carolina has great schools and low taxes. So there's a lot of different pockets of Charlotte to live in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Ben. Well, I think this has been a great talk today. And Ben, I want to thank you for joining us on Coffee with Tom and Joanne. And if anyone is interested, if anyone's interested in meeting Ben, we'll put his contact information in the post. And I want to thank you for watching Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
And I'm Joanne Toronto. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.